Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I am doing a full face of my favorite cream products in my whole collection. I love cream products because they give me such a kind of like youthful, awake glow to my skin. So this look is going to be really focused on creating a long-lasting but still fresh-looking full face of cream products. Before we jump into the tutorial, I wanted to give a special welcome to anyone who's new to my channel. Hi, I'm Morgan. I'm currently on a no-buy and low-buy alternating year, so I'm really trying to reacquaint myself with my makeup collection and remind myself why I love the products I already own. If that sounds interesting to you, I would love to have you subscribe before you go today. And now let's go ahead and jump right into the video. So I already have a base layer down. I put on a lightweight, really light coverage foundation. And that's just my personal preference when I'm gonna be building up creams on top. I find that most of my light coverage complexion products play really nicely and end up having such a fresh and kind of minimal makeup look going on at the end that I really love the kind of lighter weight coverage. Today I went ahead and did that step off camera just because I was actually testing out a sampler of the Kosas tinted face oil, and this is not a product I'm super familiar with, so I didn't want to include it in this video that's featuring my favorites. Because I am not actually familiar with that product to the extent of being able to recommend it, I wanted to offer two suggestions from within my own collection that I absolutely love that give a really similar kind of lightweight effect that this current base I have on has. So the first one is the Ordinary Serum Foundation, and I would say this gives me like an exact same finish and coverage level that this Kosas on my face currently gives. So I really love this product. It's extremely affordable. It's like under $7, under $7 US, I should say. And I love this serum foundation. I also really love the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Tinted Moisturizer. So if you're more into like a thicker consistency, this one's like super watery. The Kosas was also super watery, very liquidy, but the ColourPop is a little bit more of like a moisturizer texture. So if you prefer that, I really love this for a similar effect. I am also going to speed through concealer today just because every concealer I own is a liquid or cream. I am, if you're curious, going to be using the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer, which I think is a great concealer, but I'm actually just trying to use it up for my project pan so you can see my lines here. I'm trying to use this up, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply that quickly as well. Alrighty, concealer is done, and we're gonna move into cheek products, which are kind of my favorite category of cream products. And first up here is the Milk Makeup Matte Bronzer in the shade Baked. So this comes in two different shades, and I have a mini size. The regular size is really big, and I knew I would never use it up in time before it expired, but the mini size is perfect for me. So I love the tone of this bronzer. I will just swatch it here on the back of my hand so you can see. It's not too warm, not too cool. It doesn't lean like too orangey or anything, and it shears out to a really beautiful shade. So you can see over on this side, I just sheared it out quickly so you can kind of get a better sense of what it actually looks like on the skin. I find that this Milk bronzer is one of the longest lasting cream bronzers I've ever tried. Creams kind of have a reputation for not being super long lasting, and I think that this really challenges that kind of assumption or status quo for cream cheek products. So I am going to show you two different application methods with this. The first is to apply it just straight onto my face and blend it out, and the second is to actually put the product onto some sort of tool, so like a brush or a sponge or whatever you want to use, and then apply it to your face from there. For blush today, I'm going to be using the shade Spice from Salt New York. So I just did a dedicated review on all of these shades from Salt New York. So I have a bronzer, 2 blushes, and a highlight. And I'll link that up in the corner below in case you want my thoughts on all of these formulas. But this shade Spice, I absolutely love. I think that Salt New York has a really, really good formula. They are refined, they're easy to blend out. If you make any mistakes, you can easily tap like your sponge or your brush that had your foundation or concealer on it, just like around the edges of the Salt product, and it just blurs the edges perfectly. But these also have decent lasting power. I would say not quite as long as the matte bronzer from Milk, but long enough that I'm happy with how long these blushes last on my cheeks. So my favorite way to apply these is actually just with a finger. So I just swirl my finger into the product, into the pan a little bit, until I get about this much product on my finger. And you'll see here as I tap out the shade Spice, it's a really beautiful, like warm, I don't know, like a terracotta-y shade almost, but with a little less orangey undertone than I usually think about terracotta having. So it's like very warm and rosy and just kind of like that burnt shade, and I absolutely love it. And you'll see that it retains any glow that you have underneath, and in my opinion, it also kind of enhances that glow, which I really like for, like I'm saying, kind of this more minimal natural makeup look. And then on to highlighter. Today I'm using my Daniel Sandler watercolor cheek color in the shade Rose Glow. So Rose Glow is one of their illuminator shades, which is essentially just another way of saying a highlighter. But I love the range of colors that they have for both this illuminator type, and then also they have just like a blush format of this product as well that's matte or satin finish instead of this more shimmery finish. And I love both of those formats. This is one of the most long-lasting liquid products I've ever used in my entire life. It is incredible how long this pigment stays on your cheeks. So I'm gonna layer this over most of my cheek, actually. I love this because it's a little bit deeper. It's not like kind of the classic highlight shade for my skin tone. I love it as more of like a blush topper highlighter combo. So I'll show you how I tend to apply these. It's extremely liquidy, so you'll wanna be careful. It has a little dropper on top, and I always just put like 1 drop at a time on my hand. So truly, when I say 1 drop, I mean like 1 tiny drop, and then it blends this much. And then I take a duo fiber stippling brush, and this one's just from e.l.f. It's like $4, and I kind of swirl my brush on the product until it looks like it's blended into my skin, essentially. And at that point, I have the right amount on the brush to actually add it to my cheeks. For brows, I typically like to use a brow pencil and also some sort of gel just to kind of fill in any gaps with the pencil. So like I have this gap here and this gap here, and then use the gel to lock it all in place. But today I'm going to just use a brow gel in order to keep with this theme of kind of cream products. So I'm going to be using the Essence Make Me Brow, and this is a really, really beautiful fiber filling brow gel. I really think that it does kind of fill in the gaps in my brows really nicely, especially in comparison to some other tinted brow gels that I've tried in the past. And this one locks down really, really, really securely, at least in my brows. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply this brow gel. For my eye look today, I'm going to be kind of mixing and matching and bouncing between 3 different products. So you could absolutely pick one of these and do kind of an all over one shadow eye look with just one of them, but I like the combination of a few different shadows and textures and shades on my eyelids in particular. So I'm gonna be bouncing between the Glossier Sky Wash in the shade Terra, the e.l.f. No Budge Shadow Stick in Perfect Pearl, and the ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in the shade Amaze. I love doing videos like this because these are 3 eye products that I've never used together before, but I think they're gonna complement each other super, super well. The Glossier Skywash formula is extremely pigmented when you first apply it. So I'm gonna be really careful just to concentrate this like right on the outer corner of my eye. And then I'm gonna blend it out from there to make it a little bit more diffused with kind of no harsh lines. So I think Skywash is such a perfect name for this product because you saw how deep and dark and concentrated it was in that outer corner of my eye. And if you just blend a little bit less than I blended, you can get that deep color. But what I love about this is that it really can diffuse down into such a natural, stunning wash of color. So I'm gonna build up just a little more to show you kind of the intensity that I tend to go for with this product, but just know that you can get this very nice diffused kind of little bit of definition on your outer corner with this product so easily. I think that's gonna be a perfect base for the rest of the look. So I'm gonna do the other eye and come back with the next eye product. Next up, I'm transitioning to the e.l.f. No Budge Shadow Stick. And I have the shade Perfect Pearl, which is just like a really nice, very light kind of white champagne-y shade. And normally I only use this on the inner corner of my eyes as an inner corner highlighter. That's kind of all I typically do with it. But today I'm gonna bring it onto my lid a little bit to kind of meet up with that Terra shade. Just using this brush to blend kind of where those two meet. I really love that combination so far. This e.l.f. stick is a really refined shimmer. So you can see it's definitely a shimmer, but it's not like chunky or glittery. It's really, really beautiful. And I think that this fairly affordable. I think it's about $5. This little shadow stick, I think, gives you a finish that looks so high-end. It's incredible to me. And it really does last a very, very long time without creasing or fading. And to finish off this eye look, I really want to use my absolute all-time favorite cream shadow. If you had to ask me for one cream shadow recommendation, this would be it, hands down. It's the Super Shock shadow from ColourPop in the shade Amaze. And I think it's gonna go so nicely with this look because it's kind of like a warm, peachy shade, but it still definitely leans neutral. I just take it on my finger and tap it onto my lids. That's giving exactly the kind of effect that I was looking for. So now you can see it has that slight shimmer over top of the whole eye look. So it went from being very matte and kind of flat on the outer corner and also with like this slight shimmer on the inner corner to having kind of those nice shimmery particles throughout the whole eye look. And that's exactly how I prefer to use this eyeshadow, is as more of kind of like a lid topper shade. I love that it transforms any look I have into something just like a little bit more special. I love this shade in particular, but this formula I think is what is a standout to me. Just like with the e.l.f. No Budge Shadow Stick, it's a formula that I think is ahead of its price point. I'm going to add just the tiniest bit of brown liner and put on mascara, and then I'll be back for lips. Okay, so last up here are lips, and obviously all of my kind of lip products are some form of like cream or liquid. So it was kind of hard for me to kind of think outside the box for this category and decide what would make sense to include in this video. And because this video is a little more focused on kind of like quick, everyday, fresh, minimal makeup, I thought I should go that route with lips as well. So I picked a product that I love because I don't have to use a lip liner and it gives me kind of just like a beautiful wash of color without too much pigment overpowering my face. So this is the ColourPop Just a Tint, and it's in the shade Gimme Some More, which is just a beautiful warm nude on my skin tone anyway. So I'm gonna apply this and you'll see just kind of how quick and easy it is and the final effect. So because it's kind of this pointed tip, I can sort of line my lips a little bit with it, and it gives a really beautiful finish at the end. It's just enough pigment to look like I have a lip product on to kind of round out the rest of my makeup look. But it's not so much pigment that it's going to overpower my face or like scream like, oh, she's wearing a ton of makeup, you know? So it's, to me, that kind of like perfect happy medium. It also gives just enough shine that I don't feel like I need a lip gloss to have kind of like plump, full looking lips. So I appreciate this product so much for its versatility. So that wraps up today's full face of cream makeup. I really, really love cream products. I think they're so versatile, and I think they really keep your makeup looking fresh throughout the day. If you enjoyed this video today, please give it a thumbs up down below and leave me a comment letting me know what your holy grail cream makeup products are. I also hope you'll subscribe before you go today if you haven't already. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you next time.